First principles thinking. See the essence, live with clarity. In a world full of noise, most people rely on habits and assumptions to make decisions. They mistake surface appearances for truth. But those who think clearly always ask, what is the essence of this? This is the core of first principles thinking, breaking things down to their most fundamental truths and rebuilding from there. Let's explore how first principles apply to different areas of life. 1. Entrepreneurship. Not about products or markets, it's about solving real problems. Most entrepreneurs jump into building products or chasing markets, but they forget to ask, whose problem am I solving? Successful entrepreneurship is not about trend following, it's about insight. Business is not performance, it's problem solving. 2. To men. Not about smooth talk, but true strength. A respectable man isn't defined by how well he speaks, but by what he actually does. Words can impress temporarily, but only strength, action, and responsibility earn lasting respect. 3. Women. Not about appearance, but independence. Beauty is a gift, but independence is power. A truly admirable woman doesn't rely on looks. She relies on her self-worth, financial freedom, and inner strength. She's her own light. She doesn't need to borrow anyone else's. 4. Aging. Not about becoming dependent, but about long-term planning. Getting older isn't scary. Being unprepared is. Many people fear aging not because of age, but because they lack control over their later life. Planning ahead, financially, emotionally, socially, is the greatest form of respect you can give your future self. 5. Marriage. Not about being right, but about practicing tolerance. In marriage, arguments rarely end because someone won. The key isn't logic, but empathy. Strong marriages are built not on who's right, but on who's willing to understand. 6. Parenting. Not about spoiling, but about respect. Spoiling leads to dependency. Respect leads to growth. Children aren't empty cups to be filled. They're individuals to be guided. Respecting your child means allowing them to think, choose, and become themselves. 7. Health. Not about hospitals, but about daily discipline. Health begins long before you step into a clinic. It starts with your daily choices, what you eat, how you sleep, how you manage your stress. Self-discipline is the foundation of true well-being. 8. Socializing. Not about company, but about mutual value. Real connections aren't based on how often you meet, but how much you empower each other. It's not about being social. It's about being mutually beneficial. Not transactional, but growth-oriented. 9. Career. Not about working hard, but about creating value. Hard work is just the beginning. What truly matters is, what value do I bring? Busy doesn't mean effective. Focus on outcomes, not just effort. 10. Management. Not about control, but about direction. Micromanagement kills trust. Great leaders don't control. They set clear goals, then empower people to reach them. Direction inspires more than domination. 11. Investing. Not about returns, but about risk management. Most people chase returns and forget to guard their downside. But smart investors know, preserve first, grow second. Respecting risk is the foundation of sustainable wealth. 12. Negotiation. Not about clever words, but about mutual wins. Negotiation is not a battle, it's a collaboration. The best deals are not won, they are built together. Seek to understand, then create value for both sides. 13. Design. Not about appearance, but about solving real needs. Beautiful design means nothing if it doesn't solve a real problem. Form matters, but function leads. Design with empathy, not ego. 14. Education. Not about cramming, but about awakening minds. True education isn't stuffing kids with facts. It's lighting the fire of curiosity. It's about helping them see the world and see themselves. To learn, not to obey. 15. Learning, not about how often, but how deeply. Frequent study means little if you're distracted. 10 minutes of full focus beats an hour of multitasking. Learning is not about time, it's about depth and presence. 16. Efficiency, not about doing everything, but doing the right things first. High efficiency isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Prioritize the essential. Manage energy, not just time. 17. Growth, not about what you've been through, but what you've reflected on. Experience doesn't equal growth. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Ask him, what did I learn from this? That's when growth truly begins. Final thoughts. Live by essence, not illusion. First principles. Thinking is not just a mental trick, it's a way of life. It frees us from shallow thinking, empty busyness, and false goals. It teaches us to return to what's real and build life from the ground up. So ask yourself, in every area of life, what is the essence? Live from that place, and everything will change.